This is the Nisi Swift VND system with the Nisi Mist quarter on all the time. The Nisi Swift VND system is quick and easy to use. Every single one of these shots has been filmed on the Sony a7S III, a lot of them using dual ISO. And I'm using the Nisi Mist quarter because it gives everything a little bit more character, a kind of 80s feel to it. It's a very quick and reliable system, one that I really love using because it doesn't change the color of my shots. Today we're talking about the Nisi Swift filter system, which is a great filter system. It's going to be a spoiler. It's a great filter system. This video is sponsored, but I have used Nisi for about 12 years, since 2010. So it's not like they paid me just to do a review and I'm saying just blah, blah, blah. But this is a company that I've used myself, bought their filters. I had the Nisi fader, I think 2 to 5, like back in 2010, and it was a great fader. And since then, Nisi have sent me the 15mm lens they produce, which is fantastic, almost zero distortion, great contrast, sharpness. You can check that video out somewhere here. But today we're talking about the Nisi Swift VND filter system, which they're doing a giveaway of. If you comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and do the same with Nisi and same with Instagram. I will be putting links down there. Then in 1 month of the publishing of the video, today, 1 month from today, what day it's been published on, I have no idea. I will be choosing someone from the comments down below who's done all that stuff and told me why they want to use this Nisi Swift filter system, what they're going to use it for. I'll be choosing one of those comments. Now, $400 for $409 for the system with a nice pouch, hard pouch with a whole load of, things inside, is a great price because it not only is a 1:5 VND true color filter system, it's a 1:9 and a mist all together. Now, it's not a magnetic system, so you do have a lot of magnetic systems out there. This is a friction-based system, so if you have the filter, for example, and we want to stick on the mist, so we make a VND mist, we basically stick it on. And it's not coming off. I've been using it in different various situations over the last few weeks, and it hasn't come off. The magnetic filter systems are much easier to lose than this. They both have one thing in common. They're very fast. So you're not screwing another filter on, you're not stacking, or, you basically boom, and you're done. Say you want to change it from a 1:5 to a 1:9. Boom, you're done. Hey, why don't we put some mist on it? Boom, you're done. It's that quick. Now, if you were to buy, for example, the Polar Pro, which is a fantastic filter system, and you want to get the 1:5 and the 6:9, you'd be spending not $400 or $409, you'd be spending $450. And then you would have to take one off and put the other one on. And in that time, say it's really bright and there's a polar bear right in front of you, so like 5 to 6 meters, and you want to change to 6:9. Boom. In the time you'd unscrew it and screw it back on, the polar bear would have eaten you. So having a swift, that's why they call it Swift, by the way, because it's basically, polar bear system, it really speeds everything up. The one con is that when this is screwed, it won't come off. With this, if you hit it hard enough or throw your camera at the polar bear, it's possible that it might come off. Mind you, mine hasn't, and I have been running and gunning with this system. Can you use the ND4, because this is an ND4, as you can see, it's quite dark, and the mist separately? Yes, because you get a filter. So, for example, I just want to use the mist. Boom, it's on. And like I said, all friction based. I just want to use an ND4 for photos. There you go, it's done. It's really been thought through. So you get an ND4, a mist, which is a quarter mist, and it's got a really nice bloom, really nice bloom. And you get the VND 1:5 the adapter ring, and a plastic lens cup. Did I say cup? I basically meant cap. And it's got a nice little arrow there, so you know where to stick it on, because you have this little notch, which you can screw in and screw out, you know, for your pleasure. And it just makes turning it a lot easier. Now, what does a filter do? So say we have this filter on the lens, yeah? And as you can see, here's the filter, and look. See, look at that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A VND is essential for a cinematographer, a filmmaker, a YouTuber creator, because it's going to limit the amount of light going through the filter into your lens and hitting your sensor. So you can abide by the 180-degree shutter angle rule, which basically states if you're filming at 25 frames per second, or 24 in America, you got to double that for your shutter speed to have natural motion blur, like my hands. If you wave your hand in front of your face, yeah, like I'm doing, like a madman right now, and you look at it, it's not sharp. It just is not sharp. I mean, look at this, look. Let me show you. It's not sharp because you're adhering to a rule set out by our forefathers in cinematography, which means that what you see in real life is going to basically, using the 180-degree angle shutter rule, is going to look like the same on film. If you don't have a filter on, you're not going to be at 1/50th like you should be. You're going to be at 1/2000th, 5,000, 8,000, and this is not going to be blurred anymore. This is going to be sharp as hell, because you're taking 25 photos that aren't 1/50th, which, as you know, if you move something 1/50, if you take a photo, it's blurred. If you take a photo 1/8000, my hand is going to be like this. It's going to be completely sharp. Now, 25 sharp photos, or 25 photos with motion blur, make a huge, massive difference to a cinematographer. All cinematographers have ND filters, and we use them so we can have natural motion blur. You can move away from the 180-degree rule for an artistic idea. So if you want to make things really, really blurry and dreamlike, you would lower your shutter speed. If you want to make things really sharp and, you know, horribly, you know, jittery, you're going to raise it, but keep to the 180-degree rule if you have any self-respect for yourself. This is the ND4. If you're in really bright conditions, you're in Vegas, the sun is coming down, and you want to keep your aperture fully wide open, say you're at 2.8 or even, you know, 1.8 or 1.4, you're going to stick on this, which is going to turn a 1:5 into a 1:9. And that will allow you to film fully open in bright conditions. Say you're in the snow and you're filming that polar bear, 6:9 is going to come in really handy. Now, if you're filming a music video or you just want to make things really cool and bloomy and you want things to look, you know, 80s, you're going to use this, which is a mist. You can stick it on all these filters or use it by itself to get a really cool look. You can use it during daytime. And the main thing a mist does is it lifts the shadows. So anything black is going to become a little bit more milky, and any light sources in the frame are going to bloom. So it's not going to be bright and sharp. It's going to bloom. It's going to disperse. I was going to say disperse. Disperse from the light source, and it's going to look dreamy and beautiful and give it a very certain look. Now, it's not something I'd use all the time. That's why you can take it on and off. I have the Peter McKinnon Mist VND, which is not something I use all the time, but if you can afford a few of those and have a few of them, sure. But I think this way is much better because you're packing less stuff and you don't have a few different VNDs and a VND mist and stuff, but you have just this and you're done and you're ready and you're packing a mist and you're packing a VND. Now, you're gonna ask me, Phil, what about vignetting? Because you're stacking filters. Well, if you're using one filter by itself, 18 millimeters and up, you're fine. If you're using one filter and you're stacking another one, 20 millimeters and up, that did not look good. Another thing about these filters is they can be used in a lot of different combinations, 15 to be exact. I'm gonna unleash this harmonica that Nisi includes in the filter pack, and it's going to show you every single combination of these filters. So you can do like, you know, black mist, ND16, which is 4 stops, ND16, UVIR cut, which is an extra filter you can get in the pack or buy separately if you have something like a Blackmagic camera. That might be important to you. I use Sony. I don't see any need for it. You can use black mist by itself. I mean, if you turn over, you can keep on going. In fact, I'm going to stop talking about this. I'm going to place it on the screen right here so you can have a look exactly what the combinations are, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of combinations with this filter set. Harmonica folded. Now, one of the most important things about this Nisi set is true color. Now, true color is very important because there are a lot of filters, VND filters, ND filters, especially the cheaper ones, that if you buy them, and out of experience, I'm speaking, there are 2 huge problems. One, a VND or an ND filter will add magenta the deeper it goes. So the more stops you're putting on, the more magenta it's going to get. This is true color, and it won't actually change the color of your image. So what you see in real life, when you stick the filter on, it's going to be the same. It's not going to go into weird color casts. Fantastic thing about the Nisi Swift filter system, true color. Another thing is stops. Can you hear that? That's a stop. That's something that I did not have in my Tiffin, for example, VNDs. So if you're running and gunning, you twist it and you're like, oh God, it's dark, and you're twisting it, and you went past the end stop, what's going to happen is this kind of like black cross is going to enter your footage, and you might not notice it until you get back home to your computer and you look at the footage you filmed, and you're going to be like, in the bin. So having end stops is very important because they basically limit how far the filter can be twisted, so you don't go into this crazy polarizing cross of death that I like to call it on your footage. So those are 2 things that the Nisi filter does not have: cross of death and odd color casts, mainly magenta in ND filters. Now, why do I use Nisi? I actually have a ton of filters, but I started using Nisi, like I said, in 2010, and I use them because they have really nice colors, they're easy to use, and they're very, very well made. The pouch is great. It's got a whole load of inserts. It's got a nice feel to it. You know, Nisi pouch, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a company that I worked with a long time before they even wrote to me and suggested, hey Phil, you want to do something for us? I'm like, yeah, sure, because I've used the stuff and I can honestly recommend it. I will not do a film for anybody, no matter how much they pay me, if it's a bad product. So this is something I can hands down, hand on my heart, recommend for you to use. But if you want to get it free, remember the giveaway, like, comment, you know, just do a whole load of, just spam this stuff like crazy. And 1 month from today, I will be choosing someone. So, fantastic system. Nisi, I really do appreciate you guys sending over and sponsoring this video. And I hope you enjoyed my examples. Phil out.